Hey, Shark fans, it's Melinda with another episode of Main Street Moments. And today in the studio with me, I have Mr. Clark Richey, who is the owner of Alicia Gallery in Baldwin and Six Shooter Studio in Baldwin. And he is going to tell us all about downtown renovations that have occurred in the Baldwin area. Clark, thanks for coming into the studio today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Melinda. I've been interested in downtowns and development for my entire life. I started an engineering business in downtown Baldwin about 26 years ago. And for several years, I just developed that engineering business. And we had a drugstore on Main Street, and we had my engineering business, a couple other businesses, maybe a barber shop or something like that. But other than that, we had a lot of empty buildings. And the day came, I decided, well, maybe I'll try to pick up a couple of these buildings and see what we can do. And it started then, and several of us have been working on Main Street Baldwin. We have a 4-block historic district right there in the center of town, and it's been a labor of love. We've been working on it for about 15 years now, and really, really changing the way things look and operate. And I'd love to talk to you about it today.
Okay, let's start with Alley Cat Gallery.
Alley Cat Gallery is the latest business that I've started there in Baldwin. We have a consignment art gallery there that we have artists from all over the region, from Mississippi, from other states, and they produce works in all different kinds of media, oils and watercolors, and we got bronze sculptures and so forth. You walk into the gallery, we're located at 103 East Main Street in Baldwin. All of our businesses are right there on Main Street. But you walk into the gallery and you say immediately, I'm shocked. And that's what we want. We want people to walk in and feel like, I'm shocked that this is here. We walked into this storefront building in Baldwin, historic building built about 1910, 1915, and immediately they see all this art that you would see in much, much, much larger towns. And we're real proud of that. We've got about 25 or 30 artists represented there. We're a growing gallery. We've got an online store. A lot of good things going on.
Is Alley Cat Gallery open to the public right now?
Yes, Alley Cat Gallery is open on Fridays and Saturdays right now, and we open from. You put me on the spot. We're
Sorry.
open from noon to 6 on Friday and from 11 to 3 on Saturday. But we're also open by appointment. We're on Facebook, and you can contact our manager there, Daphne Taylor, and we're open any day by appointment for private viewings and so forth. Folks that might want to come in and pick out something special.
People can find Alley Cat Gallery on Facebook, I believe.
That's our primary outlet for promotions through Facebook. Yes.
All right, tell me about Six Shooter Studio.
Well, okay. Six Shooter Studios is a fun little thing we started a few years ago. I'm very interested in film and making movies and making music, and so we started with a play I wrote called The Peacemakers. I have a theater there in Baldwin, the Claude Gentry Theater. Maybe I should just say, okay, I've got the Claude Gentry Theater in Baldwin. I've got the Tom's Soda Shop, which is an old-time diner. I have a building that has another coffee shop in it called Fill My Cup. I don't operate the business, but I built and renovated the building, and they operate it. I have Six Shooter Studios, and along with my engineering business that I mentioned, Quail Ridge Engineering. And we also have a recording studio in downtown Baldwin, not owned by me, and we have several other graphic designer. Our newspapers, they're housed in downtown. It's a really cool little historic district downtown. Now, Six Shooter Studios is one of my pet projects, and it's one that I'm very involved in right now as we're making a feature film in North Mississippi, but that's another story. But Six Shooter, we made music videos and little documentaries. One thing we released this year was a paranormal documentary, an episode of Death Stalkers Paranormal, where we went out and followed. When I say we, my partner Amy Gousset and I in Six Shooter Studios, we're a two-man show in that business. We went out and followed a group of 5 supernatural investigators as they investigated some local spook houses or haunted spots here in North Mississippi. And we put those, they're out there on YouTube right now on our Six Shooters Studios YouTube page. Episode 1 was the Link Center in Tupelo, Mississippi. and then episode 2 was a house on Highway 30 in Tippah County. It no longer exists, but that's another story. You go watch the film, and you'll be intrigued by what you see.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to say that you're right to leave everybody in suspense there because I know the end of that story, and they do need to go out to your YouTube channel and check that out.
They need to check it out. They'll get freaked out.
And I didn't know the Link Center was haunted also. That's
Well,
pretty cool.
that's debatable, but if you were there in the middle of the night, you'd probably think it was, because I was there in the middle of the night. I got a few cold chills down in the Link Center, that's for sure.
All right, so let's talk about Tom's Soda Shop. That's the one I'm excited about because they're doing a grand reopening in a week or two, right?
They are. You know, as with many restaurants, Tom's suffered through this COVID environment, and we've reached a point now that a new group of operators are in there running the business, April and David Bell, and they're going to have a grand reopening on February the 6th. And Tom's is a meticulously renovated and restored diner. It was always a drugstore and had a soda fountain, lunch counter in it. I say always. There was a period of time it was closed. There was a period of time it was a dress shop. But about 8 years ago, we started a renovation project and brought it back to what it is now. We've got a 1941 soda fountain in there, and we've got the grills, and it's a hamburger milkshake kind of place. And David and April are going to have the 50s music going, and all the dress and everything to go along with it. It's a cool place, and in addition to it being a soda shop where you can go get you a hamburger or milkshake or whatever, it also is a historic museum. We have a lot of our displays of the Simon Spite Baldwin Historic Archive. They hang on the walls there, so you can go in and you can learn about a lot of the history around Baldwin there as you view some of the displays that are on the wall, as well as a lot of little memorabilia we've collected. Some of the movie stuff from Six Shooter Studios hangs on the wall there as well.
And when is the grand reopening?
It's on February 6th.
February the 6th. Can you tell me what it'll be like? Do you know?
I'm sure it'll be wild. I don't know what time they're opening. I think they'll probably open at about 11 o'clock. They'll be open all day. And, they make bacon cheeseburgers, and they make cheeseburgers, and there's just so much thing. They got milkshakes that are gigantic, and they're all kind of different specialties. So, and they're also on Facebook. Just look up Tom's Soda Shop, and you can find out what's going on there.
And your servers will be dressed in period
50s attire, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. That sounds like fun. So, what else should draw us to Baldwin? If you've talked to everybody, all the sharp listeners that are listening right now, to come over on February 6th and to the Tom Soda Shop opening, what else can they do while they're there?
Well, they certainly need to go down to Alicia Gallery for one. That's one thing they need to do for sure. We have a ton of really nice dress shops, boutiques there in downtown Baldwin as well. So there's plenty of shopping to do when you're in Baldwin, which was not the case when I first started years ago. In fact, there wasn't a single dress shop downtown, and now I don't want to give a false number, but there's 5 or 6 or so, and there's 3 or 4 places to eat in that 4-block area downtown. You can come and park, and you can walk around. You can spend several hours there and fill it up. We got a candle making shop there. We've got a comic book store. We've got a recording studio, We've got our community theater there as well, Claude Gentry, and hopefully we'll get that thing back opened up pretty soon and get us a nice schedule of events going again.
Do you have on a back burner another store you're going to open? Are you doing another project yet? Or is that enough yet?
I started out towards a bar and grill steak bar and grill kind of place a year or so ago, and I sort of pulled the plug on that one. I'm 56 now, and I'm just about run out of steam, Melinda.
I doubt that, but it sounds like you've got a lot of things for us to do. So I do want to encourage everybody listening to run over to Baldwin February 6th. Check out Tom's Soda Shop. Check out Alicia Gallery. Walk up and down. Do a little shopping in Baldwin, Mississippi. It is beautiful. It's very historic feeling. All the renovations are very well done, and the milkshakes at Tom's are fantastic.
You know, you're talking about our renovations there at Baldwin. This is just a little story, and I'm sure it would interest you and Chris. That is, Baldwin, for so many years, did not have enough economic development to change their stores. So while a lot of cities around Mississippi went through this development phase where they tore off all their historic building fronts and they replaced them with metal and glass and plastic or whatever, Baldwin just sort of sat there, okay? And as it turned out, that came to be a very good thing for us because now, 20 years ago, when we started this, we were dealing with buildings that were all just like they were originally constructed. So all of these brick storefronts, they all match, all in that whole 4 block area. So now that we've brought them back up, it is really like stepping back into time to about 1915. At least the look of the buildings is like that. Now, there are a couple that were updated, but for the most part, about 90% of our buildings there, they look about like they did when they were built, about 1915, which is a really cool thing today. So what people might have thought, in 1970, well, this is not going so great. Well, in 2020, it turned out to be a pretty good deal.
Yes, it's very nostalgic.
You're in it, yeah, we're in it for the long haul.
That's right. Okay, Clark, thank you so much for coming to talk to us today. I hope you've piqued everybody's curiosity and they're going to run over to Baldwin as soon as they can. Shark fans, thanks for listening and have a great rest of the day.